Hello, 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 soul friends, and welcome to this episode of Shine Your Soul Light podcast, where we are sharing the voices of visionaries who are leading in the golden age. My name is Mary Gooden. I am delighted always to be in your presence. Truly, my mission here is to support others in aligning and defining with their own mission and purpose, as it is ever evolving. So I get to play all kinds of fun roles. I do so with courage and authenticity as the heart of humanity. I ask that we all just take a moment of stillness and silence to close the eyes and open the heart. May we anchor in love, compassion, and grace. And may we receive wisdom, guidance, and inspiration. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Joining me on this fabulous episode, you know we are in the extraordinary energy of Potapalooza, and I've met another amazing human being. I'd like to introduce to you Alicia, who is a seasoned biologist and a holistic nutritionist. She has 25 years of experience in higher education, and over a decade of that is dedicated to teaching the art of healthy habits. At age 62, she is living proof of her philosophy and her commitment to optimal nutrition. Regular movement, sounds like my three non-negotiables coming, quality sleep, hydration, and what is so powerful, mental well-being. Alicia is now focused on teaching how to discover the genetic root cause of health challenges. And she is not just talking about it. She is walking the walk. I am so honored to be in your presence, Alicia. So thank you for joining me. Share with the audience today where you're joining from and a little bit more in your own words of your experience of igniting this piece of you, how you're walking the walk.
Well, thank you very much, Mary. It's a really honor to be here on your podcast today. I am originally from Mexico. I grew up in Mexico and I came to Canada, to Vancouver to do a PhD 37 long years ago, and I ended up staying here. So I come from a highly academic family. When I grew up, I was a sick child, the child that will have to go to the pediatrician all the time, the child who was given antibiotics as if they were candy. And I didn't realize the impact that had on my gut. And of course, when I became a mom, I'm a mom of three. They are now in their mid-20s. But when I became a mom, I started screaming at my kids a lot more than I wanted because I was screamed at too when I was younger. And I have to tell you, every time I tell this story, I almost cry when they told me later on, it's like, Mom, you hurt us when you screamed at us. And I don't know you or, I don't know if anybody here listening, if you have ever felt this, you start screaming and then you cannot stop screaming and you keep screaming and you're like, okay, I'm hurting the people I love the most, and you keep doing it. And I just picture my older daughter just taking care of her siblings, hiding, I don't know where, because they did hide from me for a while until I calmed down. And I have to tell you, it was until I became a holistic nutritionist that I found the link between those screams and my gut. I started changing. I told my family, look, I know you guys, you can eat whatever you want, but I am going to start changing my habits. When I start changing my eating habits, guess what happened? My relationships started getting better. And my kids, which were teenagers at the time, were like, what is mom doing? Like, what is mom doing? She's doing something and it's working. We're going to try it too. And so they started jumping on the wagon, started eating better. My husband took a whole year to actually finally said, okay, that's it, I'm in. So when you look at this, and now that I have an empty nest, my kids all have moved out. I go to their places and guess what? Their fridge, their kitchens are like a mirror of mine. What did they took with them? They took the healthy habits that they learned here, right? And I mean, they took all their stuff, but that's stuff. But what they really took were like these healthy habits, like the non-negotiables, as you say, like the food you consume, the sleep is non-negotiable, hydration is non-negotiable, not moving your body is not negotiable, right? And so anyway, so that's what they took with them, these healthy habits. And I thought I'm pretty healthy. And when I tell people tell me, oh, I eat well. I'm like, okay, let's explore. I'm like, okay, if you say you eat well, let's explore this. So we explore it. And after a while, they go like, well, we don't eat for your standards. I'm like, I've been doing this for a long time. It's very hard to get to my own standards. However, it's also good that you realize that it's possible. I'm not telling you to get to my standards, but I can kind of just tell you what I do and how I do it. I love teaching kids. They actually call me the queen of poop reading because this topic, kids love it, Mary. They love talking about poop reading, but don't talk with the adults about poop reading. I'm like, why not? I need to know how you detoxify your body, how you get rid of toxins. You need to poo, you need to pee, you need to sweat, you need to breathe, you need to breathe deeply to remove toxins. If you're not doing any of that, guess what? You are, sorry the word here, but you're full of SHIT because you don't remove toxins. And so when you're not removing toxins, this is what happens. Your body has high toxicity. But when I explored your genes, the genes you were born with, the genes that from mom and dad that got together the minute you were conceived, you were born with them, you will die with them. They don't change over your lifetime. When we looked at this set of genes, actually 66 genes we work with, we can pinpoint the root cause of many different things. For example, how you detoxify. We all detoxify in different ways, if you're not detoxifying, is that causing inflammation somewhere in the body? Where in the body? And it's so funny how, people go see doctors. To tell you the truth, I haven't seen a doctor for about 8 years, but people go see doctors. I'm working with a 32-year-old that she's in pain. Like, she's like, I can barely walk. I'm like, you're only 32. And she goes, well, they told me I had fibromyalgia. Now they told me I have, what was the name? She said, chronic idiopathic myositis. And I'm like, okay, do you want me to translate that for you? Okay, I'll translate that for you. Chronic, you've had it for a long time. Myositis, your muscles are inflamed. Idiopathic, the doctor has no idea what you have.
Right?
So nowadays, people want a diagnosis. People go to doctors, tell me what I have. I have to tell you, from all the people we've been studying and going through our programs, not being able to detoxify your body, and depends for how long, is, I would say, maybe 50% of the root cause of problems that we have. But we all detoxify different ways. And so when I look into your genes and I say, okay, you detoxify this way and you detoxify this other way, or you need help here and you need help there, makes a big difference. I have a family right now with mom that has vitiligo, so autoimmune, a daughter that has MS, autoimmune, another daughter who has her thyroid, according to her, is inexistent. And I'm like, autoimmune. And they all have the same gene or very similar genes. So they have not been detoxifying for way too long, but all three of them have different ways in which the disease is expressed. And I have to tell you, when you find the root cause of somebody with MS, you go like, what? Yes, it's incredible. It's incredible because this is your blueprint. This is you. This is you. I'll show you in a piece of paper. This is you. These are your genes. What do we need to work on? What genes do we need to work on? Every single day. Meaning every single day, you should eat properly, you should move properly, you should sleep properly. I have people that think that, oh, I've never slept in my life. 4.5 hours is enough for me. I'm like, no. Not even 7 hours is good for anybody. You need 8 hours. They are now sleeping 8 hours and they cannot believe the difference. And so it's a beautiful formula. Or I would say it's a formula, but it's a really beautiful way of finding out the root cause of a lot of health issues that are coming up in society. for example, Mary, you know that there's a lot of kids with ADD, ADHD, autism, that type of thing. 90% of that is detoxification. It's amazing because we're so bombarded by toxins. That is the biggest problem. One of them, food. Lots of food, so much toxicity in food, air, water, you name it, And we're exposed to it all the time, but our kids don't detoxify. We probably did when we were younger. It wasn't as bad as when I was younger, but right now it's so bad. So start exploring what's in your pantry. You have logs to put in the fire in the pantry or not? And I bet you I will find them. I love cleaning pantries. They invite me to houses to clean pantries. So fun, just so fun. Yeah. And it's like, remove. Oh, but I'm addicted. I really need my cookies. I really need my Oreos. You know what? Stop buying them and they are not available. You'll stop eating them. But I need my pop. Stop buying it. Change it for water. You know, and don't attempt to do everything overnight. It doesn't work.
It's a daily practice. It's a daily practice. And as you were saying, we've been conditioned to the way of living so long, and the ways. Let's talk just about the food piece and the claiming of the ADHD or the claiming of the disorders in our body, because we claim them every day. Right? It's easy for us to claim our disorders every day, but we're not willing to claim something better for ourselves, a better piece of food, you know, more movement. And it's so true. I can't tell you how many people I know, you know, young adults that are claiming these A through Z's, but their eating habits, their fried foods, their drinking, all the things that they're doing, and they're claiming they can't help themselves, but they're just making it worse by putting all these toxins into their body. And Big Pharma has really created such a beautiful business for themselves.
Yeah, and of course, it's a business. You know, food, you don't eat well, so you go to pharma, right? Yep. So pharma, people from the food industry send people to pharma. But what is the long term if we keep going this way? It's a disaster. It's an absolute disaster.
Well,
we're ready. As a human society, we're ready for disaster. I have to tell you, it's crazy what's happening.
We're planning it. We're creating it. We're creating so much fear around that idea of disaster. But again, like you have these, I have my 3 non-negotiables: daily connection, me,
yes, absolutely.
Daily movement and inspired action, and daily celebration. Like, these are all pieces that I have chosen to practice every single day so that I can get to that next level of humanity, which is waiting for us, right?
Yeah.
But everything that you discuss is waiting for us. And I realize that people like to fear change, as you do, realize this. But, you know, we're changing everything every day, all the time anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, but without this soul piece, nothing else works. Okay? You need to think about this. You need to have this mindset. You need to try, you know, you truly need to be you. But one important thing that I feel that people are missing is making the connection that we're a whole, right? Holistic. That's why we're holistic nutritionists. We're a whole. You cannot separate body from soul, from mind, from and you cannot separate us. We are one. We're one piece. And that's how we are designed to be. And so it's important to think about, you know, being basically, I have a coach that says that we are spiritual beings having a human experience, right? And in reality, what do you want your human experience to be like? Right? What do you want? Do you want to just be part of the world, to keep going with the trends, to follow whatever they tell you to do, or Do you want to be you? Who are you?
Mhm.
You know, who I am, who am I? I mean, and to me, and at my age, Mary, you know, a lot of women are like, oh, in 3 years I will retire. And I'm like, they're just looking for retirement. And I'm like, yeah, what are you going to do after retirement? Oh, I'm going to go travel. Oh, great. How I'll go to Europe. Oh, yeah. How many times are you going to Europe? Oh, maybe only once. And then I'll come home and I'll take care of my grandchildren. And I'm like, yeah, that's great. That's phenomenal. Right. And they're like, and what is your purpose in life? And they look at me like, what are you talking about?
Mm.
I'm like, because I have a purpose in life that wakes me up every morning, totally in tune with myself to say, I can leave a legacy, a positive legacy to the world. And I want to teach others to do the same.
It's such a brilliant mission and message to share. And you're in good space for that, because I believe too, that is the biggest part of our life. In fact, this relationship that I'm in now, my marriage, one of the first things I told him before we even got married is that piece that I have chosen this. I have chosen my mission and my purpose above all else, above my children, above my relationships, above all else. When I'm called to be something, to share something, that's my priority, because we each individually came here to do that. And I get to be the example of one who's doing that, just like
Right.
you get to be an example of one who's doing it, who's making the shifts. And I love how you shared that piece relationally of how when you weren't following these non-negotiables, these big parts of regular nutrition, movement, sleep, hydration, mental well-being, you were angry at your children, which just develops angry children and more angry parents. And this whole long line of history of parents yelling at their children.
I know.
But
You need to
it's such a
break that
basic
habit.
thing, but it's a big deal.
Just think, when I think about myself being, yelled at when I was a kid, it hurt. It hurt a lot. It took me a long time to actually just, just forgive my mom because she didn't have any tools. And it took me a long time to forgive myself as well. Right? But we don't want this. We don't want to pass this on generation after generation after generation. When you can be your best you, when you can be as healthy as possible, everything falls into place. Your relationships get better. Everything is it's in such a beautiful space that once this new space, it's like, I'm not going back.
There is no road back.
I'm not going back. But we choose. Right. We choose. Here we are. We choose. You choose what you want for your life. It doesn't matter how old you are. You choose what you want for your life.
Such a great piece of advice. You do choose. I also found that space with my children once I resigned from my corporate engagements and decided to move and shift into a different life, less ordinary, right? Doing it differently. But I still found myself in a habit, and it was the hurry up, we got to go. So every time it was time to leave the house. And one time I caught myself about 3 or 4 months after I had resigned and we were in a new location. And I thought, Mary, stop it. We don't have to go anywhere. We can settle down and relax. But it was a habit I had created. And I didn't really even see it until I took myself out of the element of my old self to realize, whoa, because just that, how much tension and pressure and anxiety those words drive into the air, into the vibration, like, hurry up, everyone. So I love that you've stepped out and you're embracing this knowledge, this higher education that you have aligned yourself with, and seeing the truth and sharing it. Because like you said, I sleep 4 hours. I'm good on 4 hours. Gosh, I remember in corporate where I could hear myself say that. All I need is 4 hours. Crash and burn, years of all I need is 4 hours turned into panic attacks.
Yeah, absolutely.
right? Turn into ER visits that I didn't have time for,
That's right.
medication that I didn't want to take. And it
Yeah.
starts with those simple little pieces. So I
Yes.
love that you've enlightened us with that today, Alicia. Would you share a little bit with our audience? Maybe there's another piece of advice that you have, or another one of the ways that they can move towards you so they can start taking better steps to finding their purpose and feeling joy-filled experiences all around them?
Just come and chat, and let's have a chat. I love chatting with people. I love really finding people where they're at, and just come and chat. Is this for you? Is this something you're looking for? Or what are you looking for? We're all looking for different things, right? But in reality, again, you choose. You choose.
Mhm.
You choose to be with Mary in her amazing podcast. You choose to listen to her, to be enlightened, right? We all choose. So choose what your soul tells you to choose.
And if, in fact, that you don't have an answer yet, that's good too. Just sit in
Yes.
stillness and calm.
And explore. Go explore.
Go explore.
Go explore.
What an invitation. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Alicia, for sharing all this wonderful, activating information with us. My last question for you is to give us one word that describes how it feels for you to be living this life on purpose, to be leading in this way.
Basically, you feel you're a light for the world. That's what it feels like.
As bright as you can be. Illumination.
Illumination. Let's do illumination. I like that.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your gifts with the world. Truly a bow and reverence to you for showing up in this way, because as anybody that has kept on choosing themselves to find their way and going through all the things that show up because we choose ourselves, all the disappointments oftentimes, and all the layers and all the lies and all the illusions, it's a big deal. So I celebrate you, and I celebrate all of you that are listening and that are feeling encouraged and that have taken the next step because you've been listening and hearing all these stories of magnificence. Pat yourself on the back. There are so many amazing experiences still waiting for each and every one of us when we choose to look for them.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank
Beautiful
you,
said.
Thank you, audience. Thank you, everyone in the land of podcasting. For those of you that are always listening, until we get to meet in this beautiful and collective energy once again, I say keep shining your light. Keep sharing your love and your truth. Turn on and illuminate everything that is around you and watch people do the same. Bye for now.